What is happening, YouTube? Welcome back to the videos. First and foremost, if you're new on this channel here, hit the subscribe button below. It really helps my channel to grow. Taking another outdoorsy style vibe here, out in the sunlight. Had a little time away from the YouTube videos over the last couple of weeks, and this is because we purchased our first house. Signed our contract the other day, so now in the process of getting that sorted. And what I wanted to talk about was maybe why we bought a house. I've put up here on the channel before, if you just check out my video up here, about investing versus in real estate versus the stock market and some of the benefits of each. So a lot of people talk about buying a house as being a bad investment because you're paying a mortgage, you're paying costs to run the home or to facilitate the home, and you're not putting that towards, let's say, investing in the stock market. So the stock market might return on average 8 to 10% per year, whereas investing in your house is actually not making you any money because it's not a returning or an asset that actually returns any money. But this leads me to another train of thought, and this is sort of the way that we've approached purchasing a house. We rent the house that we're in currently. We've been here for over 3 years, and the money that we put away to rent this house technically does nothing for us. It's a liability because we're just paying someone else's mortgage off, and essentially there's nothing we can do to the place. We can't really make it our own, make it that home sort of environment, and we just have to deal with all the things that come with that. So part of why we looked into investing in our first home was so that we treat it almost like a term deposit or a savings account. Now, the suburb that we bought in is a very safe suburb. It doesn't grow too much, so that means it's not very volatile, whereas stock's quite volatile. So the value is probably either going to slowly increase over time, or it's going to stay the same for the next sort of 5 to 7 years. And the money that we use to pay off our mortgage is going to build up over time, and that's what they call equity in the property. So that's going to build up slowly over time, eventually to the point where we have a substantial amount of money in there, and we can either use this equity to either leverage, which means that we put down a little bit to get a lot for potentially another home, which might be our future home, dream home, whatever, or we could rent that space out and turn it into an income producing asset. So there's two trains of thought. Sure, investing in a house as your first home, you're going to be paying down a mortgage, you're going to have costs associated with owning a home, rates, land taxes, all that sort of stuff. But at the same time, you're slowly building up this mass amount of money that you can then use to leverage for other things. So using it to get an investment property, or turning that house into an investment property using the leverage to get you another house, anything like that you can actually use that built up equity for. So there's two trains of thought. Now, I'd love for, if you're out there and you're a subscriber and you own a home, or you don't own a home and you want to rent and you choose to do whatever with your money, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Not saying that anything is right or wrong. It's purely down to your own choice, and I am no means a financial advisor, so I wouldn't advise you to not get a house or to get a house. But considering that interest rates are low, it's relatively inexpensive to borrow money currently, and it's a good way to build up that equity in the property. But on the flip side, if you're to rent a house, let's say you rented a house and you invested the difference in the stock market, that would have the potential to return you such a larger return. But in retrospect, you're a renter still. You don't own the home at the end of the day, you just pay your money. If you're in the current rental market, you're paying a substantial amount for very little. And you also can't make any changes to the home. So there's two trains of thought. If you're the type of person that wants that pillar in your life when you own a home, or you're starting a family or something like that, then perhaps it's better to buy. But if you're a person who's, maybe you're single, you want to put away lots of money in the stock market, which will generate a bigger return, and you don't care too much about where you live, then perhaps renting is for you. So comment below, guys. Are you a renter? Are you a homeowner? What's your thoughts on the current landscape of where you are in your financial decisions? And thanks for tuning into the videos. Hopefully there's got some good trains of thoughts, maybe stirred some stuff up that you haven't thought of before, and you can use that to make your own financial decisions. Thanks, guys.